Hi, grade 5 math students. Today what we're going to do is we're going to keep doing some multiplication, and what I want to do is introduce you to a really neat strategy called halving and doubling. Okay, so halving means cutting something into half of its size. So just so that you understand that term, think of halving like half of 8 would be 4, okay, or half of 16 would be 8. So that's what we mean by halving something. The other word that I want you to make sure you know is doubling. Doubling means like multiply by 2. So for example, if you have 7 and you double it, you would get 14. So how does this work? Well, if you are doing a multiplication like 5 times 12 here, what you can do is you can think of it, so make my little thought bubble here. It's a beautiful thought bubble. What you can do is you can think of it as numbers, using these numbers, but doubling one and halving the other. And if you do this right, you're going to actually notice that it makes the question much easier. So for example here, 5, if we double it, it gives us a really nice number like 10. But if I double the one number, to make my answer the same, I have to half the other number. So this one we doubled, this one we're going to have to half. Well, what's half of 12? The answer to that is, well, half of 12 is 6. Now here's the cool thing. 10 times 6. Most of us know, oh yeah, we got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Now the cool thing is, if you double one number and you half the other number, you'll get the same answer. So if 10 times 6 equals 60, using double and halving, we know that 5 times 12 is also 60. If you don't believe me, check your calculator. True. Next one, well again, 18 times 5. Most of us, we don't have any idea what 18 times 5 is. You could develop a few other strategies to figure this out, but I would say halving and doubling is a really powerful tool here. So again, get your thought bubble out. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Ooh, here's my thought bubble. So now what I can do is, if I want it, I can half one of these numbers, double the other. Well, clearly, my spider senses are going. When I see a 5, I like doubling it, because 10 is easy to work with. I can count up by multiples of 10 easy. Now, 18 on the other hand, if I doubled the 5, I need to half the 18. Well, half of 18 is 9. 9 times 10, what does that equal? I think we know that is 90. So therefore, this must also be 90. Do you see how I'm able to multiply some pretty big stuff just by using this idea of doubling and halving? Let's move to the last slide. 14 times 4. Again, most of us look at this and say, I'm not really sure what 14 times 4 is. So what do? Well, let's start thinking. We're going to use our doubling and halving. So again, 14's pretty big. I'm thinking maybe this would be easier if I halved it. So here's my halving going on. Half of 14 is 7. Now remember, if I half the one number, I have to double the other. Doubling 4 is 8. Now, I know some of us, we're still learning what 7 times 8 is. I'm hoping that in a week or so, this is like really well known to you. And I'm hoping you'll be able to say, oh yeah, that's 56. Well, since we did doubling and halving, we know that 14 times 4 is also 56. Pretty cool, eh? Now this is what I would like you to do. Go do some work, and you can learn your next strategy next time.